my name is Becky Fowkes and I'm part of the multi-agency child protection team. I am a lead child protection practitioner here at Warrington. So I am an experienced social worker, and our multi-agency team is made up of experienced social workers and other key professionals that we work with. That looks like we have someone from education, we have mental health, we have probation, we have health, we have pre-birth assessor, and we also have a dolls worker, so a deprivation of liberty safeguarding worker, and we work together in our multi-agency team. As a lead child protection practitioner, or an LCPP, our day-to-day looks kind of different. We're mainly office-based, so the start of our journey is probably joining with the strategy meetings. We have a discussion with our social workers prior to our strategy meetings in regards to whether thresholds met for to go to a strategy meeting. We attend that strategy meeting and kind of give an independent view of whether we think a threshold's met for a Section 47 inquiry, and we attend that meeting as well. If it is that threshold's met for a Section 47 inquiry, we join the social worker as part of that inquiry. So we support the social workers, we go out and attend a visit, we meet with the children, meet with the family, and we help, and we have a section of that where we put our analysis in of whether we think the children should be supported on a child protection plan or not. So following the Section 47 inquiry, we support with the initial decision making meeting, or what we call an IDMM, and that's where we get professionals together about whether a child should be placed on a child protection plan and whether we think the child is at risk of significant harm. So alongside the strategy meetings, we're attending some visits with the families, we're supporting our social workers with their inquiries, we are facilitating those initial decision-making meetings, and we're also kind of offering that day-to-day support with our social workers. Some of our social workers and our ASYEs, it can be support with things like court work or reports that they've never done before, with visits or engaging with other professionals. And part of our role as the MAP PT and having that kind of multi-agency is checking in with the other professionals that we sit alongside. So that can be getting advice from police or education on something we're not sure about. And having those continual kind of professional case discussions. I think the most rewarding part of this role is kind of being part of the process and seeing it through. It's a lot different to how we used to have our conferences when it was somebody independent. We've kind of met the family from that initial Section 47 inquiry. We're working with them through a real difficult time through that child protection process. They've already met us by the time we come to that initial decision making meeting, and hopefully it's a lot more relaxing for parents, a lot less overwhelming when they come into a big meeting, and then we see it right through then and there. We are their LCPP right through their review. We'll attend a meeting in that meantime as well, and also visit. We're also a point of call if parents, for some reason the social worker is off and they need someone to get in touch with, they can speak to somebody that they know, and if needed we can go out and visit, and it's a familiar face. So within our MAP PT team, we have other professionals that we sit alongside daily, as well as our social workers who are on the same floor. We have someone from police, health, education, and we are in constant contact with them. It can be something from a case discussion, attending meetings and visits together, but ultimately we've got a point of call and we've got someone that we can ring, we can just send a quick message to, and within that they kind of generally sat within our team, so we can have those quick case discussions whenever we need them, or they can be part of that bigger conversation as well. Some of our professionals also come to our initial decision making meetings if we think they're going to be able to provide something for our families as well. So I think for our families it's consistency, it's having somebody, a face that comes to the meetings that they recognise and that they know. And I think specifically for our newly qualified social workers or our ASYEs, it's having somebody that is there and is has had that experience possibly, also that's going to kind of be there with them and do those visits and go through those kind of difficult situations with them, I guess. We have had feedback from our ASYEs that say if we hadn't have had kind of an LCPP or someone experienced to do that with them, that they might not have been able to carry on in the role. So I think it's just about for them having someone that they can also kind of check in with and rely on, and to be there with them and kind of hand-holding on some of it. I think as well a lot of the role is supporting our newly qualified social workers with their day-to-day things, having someone to kind of check in with, alleviating some of those pressures of every day, and that struggle that it is really difficult at first, and understanding that we don't need to know everything, but having another person to kind of check in with and making sure they're doing the right things, they're on the right track, and just supporting with them as much as possible.